Hey future Twig, past Twig here once again with another card call out for everyone. Today we're going back to mono white with a card called Oblation. 1 white mana, 2 colorless for an instant. The owner of target non-land permit shuffles it into their library and then draws 2 cards. So I love this card and I actually use it in a decent number of my decks just because it's such a versatile card with so many possibilities for what you can do with it. There's a lot of synergies and a lot of unique things this card does in white that virtually no other card does. However, before we get into that, let's get into the Scryfall data. So first off, this card's actually a bit more expensive than most of our other cards we've shown. We're looking at about 55 cents for it on average. A little bit more if you go with the Scryfall data, or the EDH rec data. And it's in a fair number of decks, actually, almost a percentage of all EDH rec decks, which makes sense because it's quite a powerful form of spot removal. Getting to synergies that this card has, a big thing that a lot of mono white decks struggle with, and anyone who plays Magic will tell you this, is that mono white struggles with drawing cards. And going back here real quick, Oblation is actually a card that you can use this on your opponent's stuff to remove it and shuffle it back into your opponent's library, or you can use it on your own stuff like your tokens that you don't care about too much and draw cards off of that. So it's a very powerful and flexible way of perhaps drawing cards during a crucial period when you need more cards in your hand. Additionally, moving on to other synergies, some mono white decks, but especially a lot of Azorius and then Bant style decks that like to interact with instants and sorcery so that you can cast them multiple times, or they gain rebound, or all sorts of other things. So there's a powerful way where you can use this with something like Lita and Lair here to basically get multiple uses out of Oblation, which allows you to remove multiple permanents or draw a ton of cards for yourself. And finally, moving on to the last synergy we have here today, we have Brina the Demagogue. So what's really cool about cards like this is that there's a lot of, especially Orzhov I've seen, have it where you almost have these group hug style decks where you want your opponents drawing cards so you can gain powerful synergies and abilities, such as with Demagogue here, and Oblation works perfectly in that, because not only can it be spot removal, but it can also help your opponents to draw more cards, or again, if you need to, you can also draw cards yourself. And believe it or not, that's all I have for you today. I love Oblation. I think there's a lot of ways you can use it. And otherwise, thank you very much for tuning into this card call, and have a wonderful day. Take care.